Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we're going to have a look at some urban scatter terrain printed by Stonebeards Forge. Here we go then, this is going to be some awesome terrain for zombie games, modern warfare games, and in this video you'll get a real good close-up look at it. All this is designed by Urban Scatter Gaming. I'll tell you more about them at the end of the video, and it's all printed by Stonebeards Forge. So really awesome to be doing this collaboration video with two independent creators, so I can share it with you. So big thanks to them for sending this out. It's not sponsored. And this is part of the series that I love to do where I introduce you to new independent creators that you may not have heard of. So let's get started. We'll go with these first ones first. We've got a couple of dumpsters here, and these are some of the bigger ones, more of the industrial size. And these are great. I'll put some miniatures next to all these different pieces that we're going to look through later on in the video, so you get a really good idea of scale. But these are going to be just right for 28mm, even 32mm as well. And if you're into playing any game that uses the modern environment, then this is going to be just perfect for it. I wish I'd found all this last year. I was really looking for some urban terrain and scatter things like this, and the quality is just brilliant. It's all 3D printed by Stonebeards Forge. A little bit of cleanup needed, as you would expect, but otherwise really good quality. The details are nice and crisp and come through well. So if you have a look at the Urban Scatter Terrain Facebook page, and I'll put a link in the description down below that will take you straight to there. You can see there's tons of pictures of all the different sets they do, and it's great to be able to find someone like Stonebeards Forge who can then print off things that you like. So if you've got any STL files, just give them a shout, send them the files across, and they'll give you a quote as well, and you can get things printed off. So if you're working on special projects, I think that's going to be really handy. Let's get back to these then. Here's the set of the cash point, the machines, or the ATMs, and all different styles. So this is one big chunky one that you could imagine on the street. You got the phone box, which is brilliant. This would be good for Marvel as well, right? This would fit for that game, I think, too. Although the scale's a little bit bigger for Marvel. But I'm sure Stonebeard could adjust the setting and print them a little bit bigger, even if you wanted to. This one's nice if you're wanting to set it in a wall, if you're building some of your own terrain. That's going to be really good. And you've got some freestanding ones, maybe inside a shop or a building, even on the street. But I think these ones would look particularly good inside like a supermarket or something like that. Next up, we've got the alleyway scatter furniture. Things like this really can bring a tabletop to life. It's all the little details from the scatter terrain that I love, and these are fantastic. You've even got the little cushions that you can take off. Maybe you can use that as some kind of barrier between the zombies, so you can even incorporate things like this into your game. And the sofa's really great. You've got one of the cushions curled up there. And that's a nice touch. These little details really do have a big effect overall when you set up the game. And it's just really fun to incorporate them into a little idea you've got for a scenario. It's these details that can really make it. Right, now we're on to city scatter, plant and tree planters. So these are going to be perfect if you've got something like a town square or even a shopping mall. Little things like this you could dot around. You could put in some maybe Vallejo paste, different flockings and little bushes and tufts and things like that, and then that's going to represent these little planters. So that's fun. I'm definitely going to do that. So you can really add to these, get them obviously painted up, but even add in things that you would normally do on bases of miniatures would be a nice option. Then we got some scatter benches, barriers, parking meter and hydrant. So lots going on in this little bag. And these benches are going to be great. Put them at the park or in the town. A lot of this is designed for the urban environment, so it's just going to be great. And I mean, you can mix and match as well. You don't have to like fix this in place. You can have it all loose, and then whenever you do a different scenario, for example in Population Z, you're going to go from different areas in Huntsville, maybe from the town to somewhere just outside of the city centre, but you're going to have parks and areas like that where all this is going to come in handy. Little parking meters, perfect. It just shows that the environment's lived in and just adds a ton of character. For me, I'm going to be using this in Population Z, but also my new game, Rogue Warriors, which launches this week. Any day now, it's going to be announced officially. I can't wait for that. Really looking forward to share that game with you. It's a fast-paced action-packed skirmish game, quite different to Population Z, and so it's a nice alternative. And if you like Kill Team and Warcry and that kind of thing, then it'll be right up your street. But it's focusing on modern warfare from World War II up to present day and a little bit beyond. So all this terrain is just going to be fantastic. So you're going to see some of this painted up and on the tabletop very soon, as I'm going to incorporate it into some of the missions. And loads of these pieces are even going to be good for objectives, for areas to search. You don't necessarily have to put anything in them, although you could in the bigger, larger bins. But you could even put small tokens in these little bins if you wanted to. But they're going to be great for objective markers and searchable items. Here we got some shop signage, so if you wanted to maybe print something off and then stick it on here, or even paint your own freehand if you're that way inclined, then these are going to be really good for that. You've got some standing up ones that are going to be freestanding, and then you've got others that you could like glue onto a piece of terrain that you've built. These ones would work nicely for a bus stop or something, which would be pretty straightforward. You could build something around it. So all these little pieces are great to incorporate into custom builds as well, not just as scatter terrain. Then we've got some more city scatter, road bollards and alarm boxes. Here we go, let's get these out, we'll have a look. So we've got these big, like, concrete-filled bollards. So they're going to be a nice barrier. Maybe you want to block off an alleyway or a road, stop vehicles going through, something like that. And then you've got these that you would see kind of parking lots, that kind of thing. Here we've got some street lids. Now these are free on the Urban Scatter Gaming site. So if you go to their Facebook page, all the links are there to take you to the files. They do lots of different free ones that you can get and download. So if you've even got your own 3D printer, that's great. But Urban Scatter Terrain and Stonebeards have got a collaboration going on, which is an ongoing one, so you can get all this printed. Anything you can find there, you should be able to get printed with Stonebeards Forge, so definitely get in touch with them. I love this little bag. This has got an old TV, so you could paint little cracks on it and things, a washing machine. Again, it all just suggests that the environment you're playing in is lived in, there is real characters there, and it brings it to life. I love these tyres. Nice to get some smaller tyres. A lot of games are kind of built up the scatter terrain sets around more like sci-fi and bigger things. It's nice to get some little sacks like this and those smaller tyres, which would be more representative of the vehicles that we're using in our games. Here's some individual sacks too. Really nice. There we go then, that's the selection I've been sent out by Urban Scatter Gaming and Stonebeards Forge. Let's grab some 28mm miniatures and I'll pop it alongside all the different pieces to give you a good idea of scale. Here you can see all the different size bins and dumpsters, so you're going to get some really nice cover for this. The sofa's going to be awesome. It's kind of under an inch, so you could, like, in most games you could easily just clamber over that with normal movement. And then I really like the phone box and everything. The little ATMs are brilliant. The details on those, fantastic. All the little barriers, the little sewer grates and things like that are going to add to it. And then the bollards as well, giving a little bit of cover here and there dotted around. Overall, really nice selection that shows off what they do. Definitely recommend checking them out. And I wish I'd found this last year before I got all that other terrain that I featured before, because this is a lot better and I can certainly recommend it. But there'll be links down below in the description that will take you to Urban Scatter Gaming. That's where all the STL files are designed, and there's loads on there. If you have a look, you can see what they do. They do all sorts of things, not just scatter terrain, even up to buildings as well, and different assets for all different environments. I really love the interior shop sets they do, like the armory, and so can definitely recommend having a look there. And then, of course, if you want to get it printed, go over to Stonebeards Forge. This is the 3D printing service, and really cool to support independent creators, small businesses. And look at this. This is awesome. It's an apocalypse van kitted out to take on the zombies, and you can even get yourself some Ninja Turtles too. All the links are down below. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear your thoughts, but thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully it gave you some ideas for things now to add to your collection. If you liked the video or found it helpful, it'd be awesome if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. A massive thank you to my Patreon supporters for helping me keep going with these regular videos. Hopefully you've been enjoying the new perks recently. It's really awesome now with all the different games from Rogue Warriors, Weekend Warriors, Population Z, and soon Lunaria Chronicles. So now those perks each month are going to be coming fast and furious. So I hope you've been enjoying those, and thank you so much for your support.